Hello, I'm Lisa Nichols, the owner of Tira Strategies, a social media marketing company, the founder of the Social Visibility Society, a Facebook group devoted to helping business owners use social media to grow their business, and the incoming president of the Greater DC chapter of the National Association of Women Business Owners. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, our lives all changed drastically, but beyond our personal lives, the lives of business owners changed in so many ways. Many of us were struggling to stay afloat, especially small business owners. Since I'm an entrepreneur and this is really my world, I was immersed in the struggles of how everybody was trying to keep their business going, the changes they had to make, how they were trying to keep moving forward in order not to lose their business. And many business owners had to make big changes to their business. It wasn't just going online. They had to do things like offer new service or product lines. They needed to alter the way they did business. They needed to change their delivery system. And I thought that it would be a good idea to get some of this on camera. So I did a series of interviews with small business owners to talk about the changes they had to make in their business. So many of us were used to networking events, in-person events to grow our business. We had people come to our stores. Everything was devoted to being in person. So some of us found it difficult to even make that move to the online world. When you watch these interviews, I hope that you can take away something from them or learn lessons or be inspired by the business owners who've had to make some big changes to how they did business. If you want to reach out to me with some of what you've been going through or your story, please do. My contact information is right below. So thank you for taking a few minutes to watch this video, and I hope you enjoy it and I hope you learn from it. So Tanya, as you know, we're talking about businesses who've had to make changes in their business. So I wanted to introduce you and have you talk to us a little bit too.
Why, thank you. My name again is Tanya Chagnon, and I own Delightful Plans. And we are an event planning company, but we've definitely had to switch things in the past month because, events just aren't happening right now.
So that's a really challenging industry, I think similar to a lot who depend on in-person events. So tell us what you've been doing to make shifts in your business to try and get through this crisis time.
So as part of my events that I do for my clients, I always try to make each member, each attendee feel special and really have the client stand out as to how much they care about everybody who's in the room with them. So I'm taking that aspect of my business and just focusing on that right now. So I believe in the power of three things: a thank you, the unexpected smile, and a helping hand. So I am finding unique ways for everybody to show appreciation to their clients by producing unique events, which, that's the part we're putting on hold right now, but now focusing on staying in touch with your clients, doing cute little gifts in the mail, doing handwritten notes, things like that, just to show your clients and guests that you are still here, you want to stand out to them, you want to be in the forefront of their mind, and that you're still part of the community, and we're standing behind everybody right now.
That is beautifully put. So basically you're focusing more on client appreciation. So what does that look like for people who have you do that for them?
So we have different packages. I have staff who does handwritten notes. So I work with the clients on what their branding colors are and all of that, because I am very much a marketing person and want to make sure everything ties in. So we'll get note cards that coordinate with the client's logo if they don't want to have their logo on the note cards. And then we sit down and we talk about messaging that they want to get out to everybody, and they can send me their list of clients and we'll sit down and we'll handwrite notes to everybody exactly with what the client wants to say, and then we'll drop those in the mail for them. We can do cute little packages with little memorable sayings on them and drop those in the mail and we can do it monthly, we can do it 4 times a year, we can do it 6 times a year, we can just do it 1 time a year, whatever the client wants.
That's a great idea, and I love that. And I know that you also, people hire you to help them with their holiday cards too, correct? So that's another piece of your business.
Absolutely. Yes. We have one client, we do almost 5,000 holiday cards for him each year. And so we developed a system, and each card has a unique statement on it. Well, has there's 6 different unique statements that we choose between the 5,000 people. And then we start working on those cards probably in September. So they're ready to go out right after Thanksgiving.
So I wanted to bring you guys on. As everybody knows, I'm doing a series where I'm talking to businesses about the shifts they've had to make in their businesses since all of this craziness started with COVID-19. And I think that Burn has an especially tough time because they're a gym, basically. And so everything is in person. And I have to say that one of the things I love most about Burn is the fact that they cultivate such a strong community feeling before this. I think that's part of their plan. It's been amazing. So I got introduced to them when they did a free workout for everybody, and they've just been so great at nurturing community. So I've loved seeing what they've done throughout the craziness that we're all going through. And I thought it would be nice for them to come on and talk about, as a gym, the things that they've done that are not just moving things online, which are really tough as a gym, but also other ways they've cultivated their community. So I will let you two take it away. Thank you.
So as Lisa Nichols was alluding to, obviously we did have to close our gym, and we went to an online platform. And I know a lot of gyms are doing that, but what we have done is we actually partnered with Burn Ashburn, because as Lisa mentioned, our other franchise partner is also the owner of that gym, and it just was nice to be able to partner with them. And what we're doing is every day we're bringing a lot of content to our clients, obviously virtually. So the first thing we do is we actually have Zoom workout. So very much like what we're doing right here, we have clients can sign on to the Zoom workout. We have one at 7 a.m., then we have one at noon, and then there's one at 4:30. And then for those that are not tech savvy, but might still want to do the workout, at 7 o'clock, we also do a Facebook Live. So there's a camera with a Zoom, and then the other 2 cameras have the gym's their client page, so the clients can just come on. They can still see what we're doing, but they're not interacting. But it gives people an option. Some people don't want to be on Zoom; they don't want to be seen, but they still want to be interacting. Also, headquarters of Burn Boot Camp is offering some content as well. So they are offering a 9 o'clock workout, which all of our clients have access to as well if they don't make the other times. We're also trying to get the kids involved because we realize that a lot of people are home with their kids. They're trying to homeschool, they're cooking, they're cleaning, and it's something to give their kids. So at 3:30, I think it is, Monday through Thursday, we offer a kids camp. One of our trainers does a camp with the little kids, which is really great because she's been so creative with her workouts. They're amazing. And it just, something for the kids to do. And then one of the things I think that has been really great is that while we are a boot camp type workout, we don't always have a lot of time for stretching. So we're offering a stretching time at 6 o'clock with one of our trainers. And what'll be great going forward, because once our gyms open back up, we'll still have that content so people can go back and stretch, or even access the workouts that we're doing if they're traveling. So I think all of this is evolving for now, but it will help us in the future as well. So those are some of the highlights of things that we are doing. Lisa, I'm sorry, I kind of went ahead and just kind of went into all of that, but if you want to add anything.
Yeah, that's all good. I would say that it's been evolving, and we continue to add, which has been really interesting to see the journey. So when the concerns first started about COVID-19, but we were not closed, Burn made a big point, headquarters and locally, that we would stop doing high fives. And if you've been into a Burn workout, high fives are a big part of our culture. It's a way that we affirm and encourage each other. So we stopped that. And then when we had to shut the doors, we were still bringing a small group of trainers and workout models, if you will, and a production crew into the gym to film this. And then as those concerns continued to grow, we said, let's even reduce it down to just the trainer. And that's what's happening now. So Ivy, when she trains, she's in her home and she's got the computer set up there. But we just, as she mentioned, with this wide variety of content, we have continued to find new things to add on. And we were just on a call this week where we're talking through, well, what else can we add on? We know that our members are eager for some content. And not just workout content. We were talking about all kinds of things, from makeup tips to hair tips to arts and crafts, just to kind of help. And as Lisa mentioned, in the community, is and always has been a really big aspect. When people say, oh, I've seen other boot camps where I'm a member of a gym. The one thing that continues to sort of set us apart, and we're getting this affirmation back from our members now through our Facebook pages and commentary, that we really are, and we intentionally try to build a community and take care of each other and encourage each other. And so that's kind of what pushes us to think about content that's above and beyond just the boot camp workout that they expect to get from us as a member. But now, as Ivy mentioned, kids camps, that's not part of our charter, but we want to take care of the whole family, nutrition tips, et cetera, et cetera. So we are trying to think outside of the box and be innovative and help our members during this challenging time for everybody.
I think you guys are doing a great job, and I have to say one of the things I love about the Zoom workouts is they don't just do the Zoom workouts, but afterwards everybody can unmute and we all can talk to each other and talk to the trainer. So it's really, I think, about fostering that community, and you guys are doing such a great job. So hopefully when this is all over, you'll come out of it, everything will be fine. We can all go back to seeing each other in person and doing our high fives again.
Thank you, Lisa, so much for having me. Yes, so I am a commercial real estate agent. I do hang my license at Share Partners, which is a full-service commercial real estate company based in Rockville, Maryland, and serving the entire region. I specifically, as one of the agents there, represent tenants all around the Washington, D.C. Beltway. It's something that I very much enjoy doing, and I'm looking forward to picking back up in some of the old ways, but adopting some of the new ways on the other side of this COVID-19 crisis.
So true. And I imagine that business has definitely changed for you now that people aren't doing much of anything. So tell us a little bit about how you've changed your business and your business model and what you're doing for your clients nowadays.
Yeah, so it's funny because it's sort of when you have a lot to do, you think that you're busy, that busy is good. And so when this first hit, my phone was ringing off the hook and emails chiming like crazy, and we were really busy, but it wasn't really with income generating opportunities, at least not directly. It was with clients who realized that they might have some trouble in terms of financial hardship and trouble paying their rent, and not just, I focus on office and medical tenants. So I know most people are familiar with headlines related to retail businesses like restaurants and fitness and everything. And they've been hit especially hard and very quickly and have had to solve for that problem very quickly. But it has also impacted a lot of office and people might be surprised to learn medical practices as well. And so it was a lot of phone ringing off the hook, asking us to help them solve a problem that none of us had really had to think about before. So in terms of that shift, I felt like I had to become an expert on what the options were and where the precedent might be in terms of the landlord-tenant relationship. Very, very quickly. So I spent a lot of time picking up the phone, asking various experts who were also sort of trying to figure this out, but were able to help me put the pieces together, if you will, in terms of how to answer that question. A lot of CPAs and attorneys especially. And then also picking up the phone and asking landlords, really a friendly conversation to say, I'm not even dealing with this with one of your tenants, but I need to collect information on how different kinds of landlords are dealing with this. So anyways, I kind of became this researcher, if you will, overnight. And I think at this point, I'm very well versed in what we might do in this kind of situation. And just got to work on helping the clients that had already picked up the phone. But then in terms of how I started spending my days in a different way, while I'm certainly not one to do a transaction and then disappear for the 5 to 10 years that someone's going to be in their space. I do a lot throughout the year in terms of client appreciation events, outreach, and that sort of thing. I was proactively reaching out to a lot of clients who had not reached out, but I thought might want to at least know this information in terms of what their options are for paying their rent, depending on how they've been impacted. So I was more focused on taking care of my clients than I was in terms of generating new business.
Okay, so I love that you've managed to become a resource, and I love that you're talking about how you've really been doing follow-up with your clients, because I think a lot of people let that part slide, where right now they're just so focused on surviving, but they forget that they need to follow up with their clients. So it's great that you're doing that. How do you think becoming this resource has helped your business in the long run for when things go back to the way they were, hopefully, or a fairly fairly closely related version of the way they were?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's this is an opportunity. This has been said to death, but at the risk of saying it again, I think how you show up for people in a time like this, when maybe there's no financial gain for you in doing it, there's no transaction I can do in this. It's really just to be there and help and make sure that they're going to survive this. I think that goodwill doesn't go unnoted or unremembered in the future when they do need something, or when they have an opportunity to refer. So, I mean, a lot of us who have referral-based businesses are always looking for a way to kind of be top of mind when someone, if you had a friend who said, hey, do you know a great commercial real estate agent? How am I top of mind? Well, helping them when they actually really need it, as opposed to, it's nice to also do the happy hours and marketing and everything, is I think the best way to do it. So I believe in business karma, and so I like to think that I'm building. It's hard to measure right now what the impact is going to be on my business. I just think in terms of I feel good about what I've put out there and the outreach that I've done, and I think that will come back tenfold later on.
And we're here today with Deborah Myers from Virtuart, another one in our series of business owners who are making changes to their business in order to survive during this time of coronavirus and hopefully thrive. So welcome, Deb.
Hi, Lisa. Thanks so much for having me today. So one of the things that my business does is I work with other businesses to develop client appreciation strategies so that these businesses can show their appreciation to their clients and how much they value their business. Now, one of the big gestures that we have done in the past is sending gifts. Some of my clients don't have the home address or residential addresses of their clients, and they don't want to be sending these gifts to the office because of who knows right now when people will be going back to their offices. So this situation that we're in now has made me do some creative thinking about virtual gifts that can be given. And so things that we've talked about are subscriptions to audible.com, because you can do a 1 month, a 3 month, a 6 month, or a year subscription for somebody. We've talked about doing subscriptions to online newspaper or magazines, maybe a client's favorite magazine that they usually wouldn't subscribe to themselves. We've talked about, and we've sent ebooks. We have also talked about doing virtual lunches. You and I had a virtual lunch earlier this week where my client would order lunch from a local restaurant that is near the home of their client and then have it delivered, and then both log on to a video chat and have lunch and catch up, which is something that we do all the time. We were doing it all the time in restaurants before. Now we're just doing it in our home. And then another one of my clients was going to do a client appreciation event in the second quarter, and she had to cancel that. So we've been talking about either something like a scavenger hunt that people could do again at home, or the other day I played bingo with another group. So we're really trying to be a bit creative in terms of things that can be given, experiences that can be given, that take into account where we are right now.
Those are really super innovative ideas, and I love them. And I think clients would love them too, because they're outside of the norm. So hopefully this is something that once we're able to see each other in person, you'll continue along with these things. It sounds like it's kind of a new direction for your business, even after we're able to leave our houses, right?
Yes. So, yes, I believe that there are probably a group of people who will continue to want to do the virtual gift versus the physical gift, or a combination of them. And I also believe, like you said, that there are going to be people who are going to be wanting to do virtual events. And this will allow clients to include clients that aren't local, which I think is also a great opportunity, because then there's networking among a completely different group of people.
Very cool, Deb. I love all the ideas, and thank you so much. So if you guys want to reach Deb, we'll put her link in the comments after I post this video. So hopefully this has given you all some great ideas on saying thank you to your clients, because right now more than ever, it's important to keep up your relationship with your clients. I know Deb's just done a webinar about that too. So it's especially now important to let your clients know how much you value and appreciate them.
Exactly. Yes, this is the perfect time to do something. I know that there are people who have been concerned in terms of spending money. However, as you and I have talked, Lisa, is that this is the time, because what you do today in your business will show up 90 days later in your business. And so if you aren't reaching out to your clients, it doesn't mean that your competitors aren't reaching out to them. And when the time comes that they start thinking about re-entering into business, it'll be those other people that they will think about first versus you.
I'm here with Elaine Gibson, and I'm excited to have Elaine here. I've known Elaine for years, and my funny story about Elaine is that she's been a part of the group for a while, and I've been encouraging her to go online for many years, and Elaine resisted and resisted and resisted, and she finally started doing it, and she rocks it. So I'm happy to see that she's doing her lives more and getting in front of the camera, which is great because she's lovely and wonderful on camera. So Elaine, tell us a little bit about tell us a little bit about you and your biz.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Wow. Thanks for having me here. And let me just say, thanks for continuing to lovingly nudge me and everybody. I receive your nudges and I love them. So my name is Elaine Gibson, and the name of my business is Living. And what I do is, I mean, in a nutshell, I beat stage 4 cancer without traditional protocols. So what I do is I've taken everything that I've learned, put a ribbon around it, created a method called Extraordinary Living Made Easy, and now bring it to help and empower other people to create their healthiest life. That's what I do. I'm the healthy lifestyle designer and expert.
I love that. So Elaine, tell us how you've had to make changes to your business or enhance it, which is the word that you like to use, in order to survive during this time when you can't see people in person and you can't do some of the things you've been doing, like if Elaine had been running events and can't do those anymore. So tell us about what kind of changes you've had to make in your business.
Yes, and it's, I've gone a little bit kicking and screaming because I love events. For 2.5 years, we've been doing amazing live workshops for a year. And aside from understanding that I had to take all the information and put it into an online course so that I could scale, let's put that over here, because I was doing that, and I'm still in the midst of doing it. But for me, it's really interesting, Lisa, because what I do is very top of mind right now. I talk about a healthy lifestyle, and a lot of people, I work with high achieving women. They are the love. I love my tribe. I love my girlfriends. And so I had to do a few things. Number one, I had to streamline who I was really speaking to. I mean, I speak to whoever I can, but I had to really get very, very clear in the women that I really wanted to attract and to speak with. Because right now, this is so important. Is there ever been a better time to get serious about your health? And that's one thing, a lot of times women say to me, oh, Elaine, listen, I know what you did. I know you lost all this weight with your lifestyle and all that. It'd be great, but I can't learn anything else. I'm crazy and I'm just too much going on. But that changes now, and it has to change. So a couple of things happen. Number one, I'm bolder in my beliefs, in verbalizing my beliefs. Because as we hear things now, we are learning. I was listening to an interview that David Axelrod did with Dr. Sanjay Gupta yesterday. I was listening to the podcast, and he was saying that the most dangerous time is before diagnosis and before symptoms. That's when the most dangerous time for us to pass this on, and anything else, actually. And he was also saying that 70% of all chronic diseases and chronic symptoms that we have, whether it's inflammation and autoimmune and, you know, all these other things are fixed with lifestyle. So what I now understand, and you know, it's hard to get people to realize that it's more important to be aware of it before it shows up. So being an athlete, I've gone back to the concept that the greatest offense is a good defense. You don't have to worry about the offense if you're putting a lot of points on the board of defense, you know. So I've changed my message about this and trying to educate in this. And the other thing is that I have really gotten serious about my Facebook group, which is called the Extraordinary Sisterhood. I started it a year ago. I did it, you know, Nevin and I just moved in it last year. But now I realize I have got to get laser focused and serious about the Extraordinary Sisterhood. And I did. And this is the enhancement that we're making to our business. All roads lead to and through that group. We've had 49 women join us in the last 10 days. And I'm feeling very, very comfortable there. So, you know, I'm really taking what you say to heart, get out there. But for me, it's like, how do I find people? Who do I speak to? And I'm a little all over the place because I know it. And so now this concept about the best offense is a good defense, and now is the time. We've got to get serious about our health. And oh, by the way, it's easy. It's not rocket science. So I'm like developing I'm following in your footsteps. You've been doing these slides and giving tips, and so I'm really literally following in your footsteps, just like I hope and I know that people follow in my footsteps, what I do. So I'm resisting, I'm getting brave on what I've resisted. So I'm about to create a little live in my group, and then from there expand on that. And I'm showing up more. I don't have to think about where I need to show up. And I've totally condensed my message so that hopefully my vision and my hope is that it will be received better because it's so streamlined. And that was hard for me. It was really hard. Streamlining is not easy for somebody that has such a creative mind. You know, I'm a choreographer, so I see everybody healthy and running through fields with balloons and everything. But so I have gotten to get very serious about my message and being bold enough to be authentic of the fact that I really feel that we've got to be on the offense with our lifestyle, because that's really the only way everything's going to change.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Why I know why I think my group's important, but why do you think your group is so important and instrumental to what you're doing?
Great question. Thank you. Because I have a manifesto for my group. The vision for my group and the vision of what I do is to create lifestyles that lead to legacies, that lead to ripples through love. So I believe that women, this is our time now, and that we have got to be our best to get through everything we're called about doing now. And you know, I'm a grandmother. I mean, as you know, I'm going to be 75 in about 3.5 weeks. So for me, it's all about my legacy. So I understand that the best way for me to contribute to the world is help other women find the passion and the ability to be strong in their best so that they can do their best work and carry on their legacies. So that's really how my mind works. So by empowering women to do their best work, it's actually a bigger ripple of my legacy. And at my age, I'm really all about my legacy. And I'm finding women really are. So I'm trying to, we talk about it in the group, 10,000 women devoted to creating extraordinary lifestyles, legacies, and love. And that's really, I finally am being true to that. That's what's in my heart. Rise or not, that's where I'm going. And I think that the situation that we're all in living together brings a collective energy. And I'm really working on empowering women to take that energy and be collectively doing this.
Hi, this is Lisa Nichols with Terra Strategies and the Social Visibility Society, and I'm happy to be here with Elena today to talk about her business.
Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Lisa, for this opportunity.
Sure. So Elena Sannino tell us about your biz.
Yeah. So hi, everybody. I'm Elena Sannino of Elena Sannino Life Coaching. I am a life coach specializing in helping individuals and groups get out of survival mode so they can thrive even more with more curiosity, more purpose, and more delight.
So it sounds like that's something we all need right now. So tell me what you've done to keep your business going to do more than just survive during this time when I'm sure that mostly you've seen people in person. So what have you had to do to make changes to keep your business up and running?
Yeah, it's interesting, Lisa, because over the last 2 years, my focus has been very much on in-person. And in addition to the one-on-one work, which is mostly virtual, a lot of events, workshops, and retreats. And my big business plan thing for this year was a 2-day event in August and things leading up to that. And I'm still holding space for that 2-day event to occur. But I needed to really kind of shift. And what's fascinating is that 2 kind of things happened. When I was envisioning this year months ago, I was kind of jotting ideas down, right? Like we all do. And this thing called the Thrive Circle made it onto my list. I had no idea what this was. But it felt like a group. And it felt like something that was going to be virtual. And I pretty much tabled it because I thought, well, no, I'm not doing virtual things. That takes me out of my focus. Put it on the shelf. And it went along with this journal that I had created. But again, I just kind of like set it aside. And when everything started happening, I guess in early March or mid-March, to help me not feel so reactive and to feel proactive, I went, wait a minute, I have this thing. And yes, it's a virtual thing, but it's actually a tool. And so I launched that when I really had no intention of launching it. And I decided to have 50% of the proceeds for the first round go to Latin hunger relief. And that just, to me, yes, it was a move to virtual, but it was bringing something kind of off the shelf that had just been a creative inspiration that frankly I had ignored and turned it into something that I felt like could create a ripple, not just for me and my business, but for the people that I served and for the bigger community. So that was the first piece. The other piece that I think I shifted is that some people may or may not know that I also teach yoga. I don't talk about it a lot because it's something I do not exactly for fun, but because it fills me and it complements the work that I do as a coach. Whenever I do workshops or retreats, there's always a yin yoga component because to me, it helps you get out of your head to get into your body. And so I was already teaching 2 classes a week locally in my community, and we continued virtually when things needed to. And I realized that, wait, maybe this was an opportunity to actually serve my community with some yoga, no matter where they were. And so I kind of, for a nothing to lose, let's just see what happens, created a series with some yin yoga and the slow flow and put it out there. And the response was tremendous. And it was this interesting reminder that, yeah, right now people really, they want reminders and nudges and somebody to help them remember to breathe. Because, right, it sounds so easy, and yet the intentionality behind it. And so to me, it was this thing that I could do relatively easily that actually I got to learn a few new things, like what kind of lighting would I need to get better video quality. And so it was fun in a way because I got to do something that I love doing and that I think I'm pretty good at doing, but I don't talk a lot about because coaching is the thing. And so trying to stay focused, right? But allowing it to be a complement and something that could benefit my current clients and some people that are in my sphere that maybe have never practiced yoga. This is a really safe place for them to do that, right from their homes, nobody being able to see them. So those are the two main things. Kind of both of them, I'd say the pattern or the theme is taking these things that I had kind of kept hidden, if you will, and letting them emerge in ways that just felt not pre-planned, but just really true to what people could use.
Those, I love those. So, but tell me, I want to circle back to something. Tell me more about the Thrive Circle. So tell me a little bit about what that is too.
Yeah. So the Thrive Circle is a 7-week group coaching program. And the basis of it, I happen to, because I use my Thrive journal all the time. So I created, I'm like a queen of journals. Even now I look at my desk and there's a few too many journals, but I like my paper planners. And so last year I was using a spiral notebook for myself to kind of create this planner in this journal that had everything that I really wanted. And a lot of these things were the tools that I was using for my clients. And so I had this vision of putting it together into a thing. And my friend Jen Andos of Paperfish Creative took all of my practices and things and turned them into a paper thing. And so the Thrive Circle uses that as a tool. And we come together once a week for an hour. And it's really building kind of these foundational habits so that you can reconnect with yourself and build those thriving muscles from the inside out. So we always start with some type of breath work, and then one of my favorite tools, a brain dump. And then we kind of share and check in with the pulse of everybody. We talk about whatever theme it is for that week. And then we move into our bodies with usually just one like short little powerful, but easy to access yin shape, just so that people can feel in their body. And what I love about it is it reminds people, you don't have to do an hour-long yoga practice. You can just take one shape and really with intention and get what you need from that. And then we kind of have a closing circle. So it's been really lovely. The feedback, we're in week 4. The feedback from, it's all women in this particular group, has been that they are kind of taking time for themselves in a way that they're not sure they would have prioritized right now, and that they're building habits that they know are going to carry with them. So we're over halfway through this group, and I've decided I'm going to do it again in May, because why not? So starting May 19th, a new Thrive Circle will begin.
So today's guest is Holly Shan, and I'm going to let Holly tell a little bit about who she is and what she does, and then she'll answer a few questions about how she's managed to adapt and change her business.
Thank you, Lisa. So it's great to be here. So hi, everybody. So my name is Holly Shan, and I'm an animal communicator, and my business is Compassionate Animal Communication, LLC. And I help people to answer the question of what are you thinking when it comes to their pets when they are absolutely frustrated being driven up the wall by some of their pets' behaviors.
Which is timely now because all of us are at home with our pets wondering what in the world are they thinking and why won't they leave me alone, right?
Right. Like, why won't they leave me alone? Why do they keep following me? And my goodness, what do they want from me?
I know, right? So I have to, Loki actually pokes her head in the shower every time I'm in the shower. Now, I can't get her to go in for a bath, but she's got to poke her head. So
oh yeah,
it's weird. Okay, Holly, so tell us a little bit about how your business has changed and how you've had to morph into doing things a different way.
Sure. So I can usually, as an animal communicator, I don't necessarily have to be there in front of the animal, but a lot of people like me to do a house visit, which I have no problem doing. So some of my clients are in the home. And what I've needed to adapt to is, not only am I over the phone, but now going through Zoom and using this platform is almost a good substitute, because I can still see the animal, I can still see the people, we can still have that face-to-face interaction through Zoom or any kind of video platform to still have a session and to still have that done.
And Holly, you hadn't been using Zoom prior to this, so is it something, right? And so is it something you think you're going to use going forward, even afterwards?
Oh, absolutely, I think so. Because one of the things I needed to do is that I was holding a basic animal communication class where I teach people to do what I do, and so normally this class is done in person. I've seen it done online, and I hadn't quite, done it in that particular format. But ultimately, with everything that was going on with COVID-19, I had to move this to a virtual format. And when I did, and specifically when I moved it to Zoom, that cast a broader net, and that allowed me to access more people who wouldn't necessarily be able to come, who might have been limited by space or distance rather. So I think going forward, yeah, I'd absolutely still continue to use Zoom for, for not just for my single clients, but also maybe, considering doing group sessions too.
Today I have Jennifer Cochran with me, and Jennifer is going to tell us how she's shifted her business into something that always was her master plan, but has been accelerated. And I love that she's using this as an opportunity to make a move into her business that she had planned for already. So Jennifer, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your biz?
Great. Hi, I'm Jen Cochran with Fitness Design Solutions, and I'm here in my Pilates studio, which is feeling very lonely because I'm the only one here. So normally in the past, I have worked with my clients here in the studio in person. I have a number of a full apparatus studio here. And I've shifted in a couple of ways. And the first is going remote. I have been working with clients on both their mindset during this time and their movement, and keeping their movement going, and being able to do that with the tools that they have in their space. And my word of the year this year was evolution, because I had added in health and wellness coaching like a year and a half ago, but I hadn't been actively pursuing it. And my goal for this year, for 2020, was to really shift more into a balance of health and wellness coaching with more remote clients, as well as working with clients in person. So this really was just the catalyst for me to really shift into that space and really start working with new people in that way. So that has been really successful. I've been growing my group. I've been growing my page. I've had a lot more engagement and just been sharing tips and tricks and talking with people about the challenges that they're having. And a lot of us are having health and well-being challenges right now.
We are. So Jennifer, what I'm hearing you say is that you shifted into doing more on social media because of this new direction. So tell us what the health and wellness looks like to your clients when you work with them that way.
In terms of the health and wellness, we do a 90-minute call, and we set your goals. People work with me for 3-month periods at a time. I also do intensives that are just that 90 minutes to set your goals and really get clear on what those 6 areas of well-being mean to you. So we focus on physical well-being, financial well-being, which is your time, talent, and treasure, how you're spending your time, what talents you're using, and your treasure. So physical, financial, social well-being, what's your social well-being like, mental well-being, purpose well-being. Are you living your purpose as a cancer survivor? That is something that comes up for a lot of people that are going through a cancer diagnosis. They maybe realize that they love what they're doing and they feel really energized by it, or they're really not living their purpose at all and they completely do a 180. I think people are finding that in this time as well. So really tapping into, do they love what they were doing, or is this an opportunity to make a change? And also emotional well-being, where are we at? And finding balance among all those areas. So that's really what we work on.
I love that. I love the shift you've made. I love that you're kind of taking it and making your own and running with it. So congratulations. Today, I have Rajika here, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about what she does and how she's changed.
Great. Thank you, Lisa. So my name is Rajika Mahan, and I am a transformational life coach. And what I do is I really help women to navigate through the next transition of life, which is when the kids are leaving out of home, trying to figure out what's next for them. And just what we do together is come up with a plan, come up with strategies on how we can move them from where they are to their next level, where they can find more fulfillment and joy and just a purpose going forward for themselves.
So it's upcoming empty nesters and what they're doing with their next set of lives. And we're all ready to kind of take a leap and go forward with that, right?
Yes, yes.
Very cool. So tell me how you've made a shift in your business now that, we have to, we can't go, we're not supposed to go anywhere. Social distancing is in effect. So all of the options that we had to reach out to people, to network, to let our business be known about have kind of dried up, and it's all online now.
Yeah, so usually what I do is I do in-person workshops, and that's how I kind of get my work out, share my work, and also be in front of my audience. But now that everything is shut down, what I have, the way I have pivoted is, number one, holding my own virtual workshops via Zoom, inviting guests and members. Number two is really reaching out to groups, small groups, women's groups that actually meet in person, and reach out to their organizers, because right now they are trying to keep their participants engaged and, kind of giving them value while everybody is trying to figure out what's going on. So they are looking for speakers and presenters. So reaching out to them and offering my workshop free, just bring value back to them and shifting their perspective of what's going on, and really having them look for themselves of how they are going to come out of this, not kind of ignoring what's going on, but really shining a light of what they could create right now in the moment.
Okay, so you're offering people who have memberships, or to try and ways to help retain their members through offering the services that you have, which I think is a great idea, because so many organizations have memberships. They're trying to keep them by offering different programs. And name some of the groups that you typically would speak in front of, like what types of groups?
So women's book clubs. I'm going to be speaking in a transition network group that is out of DC. Also looking at some empowerment groups. The one I had done, it was like the Sage Sisters. We were supposed to do it in person, and we ended up doing it on Zoom. I am teaming up with a lady who does yoga, and she has people coming to her house, and we were going to do the workshop and then do the yin yoga, and now we're going to just change that to doing it virtually. She'll be doing her part, and then we'll be sharing the content out of my workshop.
Those are fantastic ideas. I love it. Thank you, Rajika,
Thank you.
for sharing that with us. I appreciate it. So
Thank
hopefully Rajika's given you all some ideas on what you can do to get the word out about your business and try and keep people engaged and interested in what you're offering and what you're doing. It's a kind of a different way to market, but we all need to shift and change. So I'm loving the ideas. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank
we will
you.
see you more in the group.